Hi, everybody. Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. I hope you're all happy to be here tonight because I know I'm very excited about tonight's guest. Tonight, I have Mark Mueller, better known as Mark's Issues with Archie's Comics. How are you doing, Mark?
Good.
It's always fun to see what other people collect and what type of things that lead to it. So I'm going to start tonight by asking you, what got you into comic books, and what were your preferences at the time, and then what are your preferences today?
I started out in comic books. We used to pick them up. We had a store that was like 7-Eleven. It was called 6 to 12 because they didn't want to pay for the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And, my mom would used to send me down for like milk or something, and she'd give me a couple bucks. And back then, comic books were only, 30, 35 cents, somewhere in that price range. So I could always pick something up with the change. And that was my fee for having to ride the bike all the way down there to pick up the milk, which I drank anyways. But and that had to be in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then shortly after that, we had a department store called McCory's.
Mm-hmm.
They had these bags. You get 3 books in a bag. And they were all sealed, so I never bought any because you never know what you would get. And money was tight back then.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a going out of business sale, and like everyone was just ripping open those bags. So it got to the point where you could pick up any 3 books and put them into one bag, and they wouldn't know the difference. And I started out collecting with The Fury of Firestorm.
Very nice. Good series. That's a series I wish I still had books for. I had about 20 of them at one point, but I don't have. I have like 2 now.
Yeah, I have very few left. All of mine disappeared in the storm. So,
yes, I understand you had some big problems. You lost a bunch of books, and based on what you say on your channel.
Yeah, Hurricane Charlie took about 125 of my long boxes of books. And like I've said on my channel and before, I mean, I had complete runs of just common things at the time, like Black Lightning, Freedom Fighters, Brave and the Bold 28 Up,
Mm-hmm.
DC Comics Presents, The Firestorm. I had the Firestorms, the Flash that had the Firestorm in the back, the Justice League. I think I had like one with the Green Lantern on the front, the Golden Age and the Modern Age Green Lantern.
Oh, very cool. I know the one you're talking about. The one where
I had that up. I didn't have like the early ones. I didn't have like 1 through 10 or 1 through. I did have 16 though, because that was the Atom.
Mm-hmm.
And I had Showcase 33, which is also the Atom. And I had that all the way up. And those all washed out to sea. And back then, you didn't have collector's insurance.
No.
So it was just all writ off. But back then, books weren't as expensive either.
No, it's true. I remember there was one time when I was younger that the Legion of Superheroes book, the Adventure 247, was actually worth more than Action 1 because more people wanted the book. The demand did it. And that the Legion was still only $1,500. Action 1 suddenly boomed up really big in the 1980s. But, so I remember all that making things a little different. So you lost the first collection, and that was primarily
the first collection was all DC and Charlton.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the Charlton. I had the whole run of Blue Beetle, Captain Atom, Thunderbolt, Sarge Steel. The whole
Sarge Steel was a good book.
It was, and it was nice when DC bought them out and they brought them over.
Mm-hmm.
They did good with almost all of them except 2. They'd never owned Peter Cannon Thunderbolt. They leased them for a year.
Yeah. And
the other one they didn't do really good with was Son of Vulcan.
Mm-hmm.
They killed him off in his limited series in issue 1.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
We're going to in issue 1.
the Peter Cannon Thunderbolt had a later 1980s DC run that was actually quite decent.
It was. And it was Paris Collin, I think, was the artist.
Yes.
It was a really good run. And the Blue Beetle
I still have a few of those. Those are nice books.
I think IDW or Dark Horse does them sporadically. Now.
IDW has the current rights. Dark Horse has lost a lot of their they lost a lot of the rights they had to in the last 3 years. I to be honest, I'm amazed Dark Horse is still around.
Well, they're one of the longest running independents from that time.
Yeah. But when you're known primarily as the licensed book company, and you start losing all the licenses, it's now I understand they've got some good books now, but I don't currently have any Dark Horse on my pull list, and that I think is a shame.
I don't either. I used to buy all their Star Wars stuff when it came out.
I know, me too. Star Wars. I've got Alien, Predator, Buffy. I bought the entire run.
That's another one.
I bought I have a copy of every Dark Horse Buffy book. So I mean, that one was pretty cool. So just before we go say hi to the chat, I just wanted to point out some stuff tonight. One, I am 109 subscribers away from my next giveaway. Okay, at 800 subs. If you're in here and you're not subbed up, give us a sub, and it'll help the channel, and we'll be able to. I'll get to giveaway stuff again. Now, speaking of giveaways, if Mark can get to 75 subs tonight, I will add 2 prizes to the giveaway. As everybody knows, I put my money where my mouth is, and everybody has come through when I've said that. So let's see if we can get Mark to 75. If we get him to 70, I will give 1 prize. Let's see if we can do that tonight, because Mark has one heck of a channel, and he does just as much deep diving as I do, in the sense, like, he's putting up the books and he's saying, this is Betty and Veronica, this is happening. And he's like, oh, this is Alexandra Cabo's first appearance. Like, he's done the work too. So we should be checking him out. One of the reasons I brought him here tonight. So tell us about your second collection, Mark.
Oh, Lord. My second collection was my Marvel collection. I had the complete run of Daredevil. I had Fantastic Four from, I forget which one it is. It was a cheesy little character. He's called the Annihilator. He was like a one-hit wonder. I'm going to say like 170, somewhere in that area. And I had that whole run completed from there. I had a Captain America 100 and up. I had the first Hawkeye, the first Black Widow, the first Iron Man. I had Iron Man 1. I had, that whole run. And I lost that, 3 or 4 years ago now, with the second hurricane. And those I still
thought about leaving Florida.
I still had those books, but they were just one giant soggy, wet book all clumped together, where all the pages, everything was just. So I had heavy paper bricks that I had to slowly carry out.
I'm guessing that the plastic bags didn't help very much.
No, bags and boards don't work when they're 2 feet underwater.
No, I suppose that's true. I've never seen that, so I'll have to take your word for it.
Get a bathtub, fill it up, and put your most precious book in there.
I will, just to find out what happens. I believe my most precious book is this. First appearance of Canoehead. So let's take before we get further in, let's say hi to everybody who's in the chat tonight. We've got Kay Munin. Hi, Kay Munin. He's also made a comment about he doesn't know much about Archie, but he owns 700. We've got Rob Saint in the chat. Hi, Rob. Good of you to be here. Lyle has made it. Speaking of Mr. 358 boxes of comics himself, who's lucky he hasn't lost it in an avalanche. He's in the mountains. So Kay Munin says that Betty as Power Girl is nice, and that's one of the things that I want to have a discussion about shortly. And we've got Mike Dennis here tonight. Hi, Mike. Good to see you. And TM Nerdy's here. Hi, TM. I'm going to be hanging out with him shortly. We've got Lau in the chat. Hi, Lau. And that may be it at the moment. Yep, that's it. Lyle says, no hurricanes here, just forest fires and avalanches. He's not wrong. The latest forest fires in BC were not too far from his place. He could see the smoke.
I saw that on a lot of the channel. I watch a lot of the channels, so just because I do Archie doesn't mean I don't like the other books.
Yes. And that comes down to the next. What made you decide to go with Archie for collection number 3?
Well, I had all the big key DC books. I lost those. I had all the big key Marvel books, and I lost those. I've already read those. So I've moved over to Archie. Archies are generally cheap. So if there is another hurricane and I lose these books, I'm not as far in debt as I was before. Always got to be positive.
So who would you say that we're okay? We have Bob Montana. We have Dan DeCarlo. Dan Parent. Oh, sorry, Dan Parent. I always pronounce it. I think Parent because of where I live.
Harry Lucy.
What's that?
Harry Lucy's another one.
Harry Lucy. Okay. That was going to be my question. Who are the other big Archie artists? Because those are the only ones I could think of.
I'm terrible with names, so if I mispronounce them, I'm sure the chat will fix it. There's Al Fagley.
Okay, Fagley I actually have heard of.
He does a lot of the Golden Age stuff. There is Wooden. He was mostly known for Katie Keene, but he has done other Archie books. There's Schultz.
Now, quick question. Katie Keene has been around for a long time, hasn't she?
Yes.
She's almost as old as Archie herself, right?
Yes. If I'm not mistaken, I think she actually predates Archie.
Oh, now that is cool. Lau is saying, don't forget Stan Goldberg.
Yes, Stan Goldberg's another one. I've got a lot of them up here.
Oh, yes. That is pretty cool.
I do like Stan Goldberg. I got Stan Goldberg right here.
Oh, very nice.
So, but you can always tell the difference between each artist. Stan Goldberg, they're usually a little chubbier in the face. Now, Fagley, they're very long and have dainty little tiny ankles. Harry Lucy puts 3 eyelashes on the bottom of their eyes for Betty and Veronica.
Right.
So even when it's not accredited who the artist is, you can kind of figure it out because they used a lot of house artists back then.
Yeah, I would. I was going to say they probably did, considering the plethora of books that came out. Now I know Archie used the reprint a lot,
yes,
especially with the digest. But still, for the amount of stories they had in the 40s and the 50s and 60s, they had to have had a lot of people working for them, I would think.
And plus, you also had the war back then in the 40s.
Yeah.
So a lot of them had, other commitments.
Yeah, like the Shield and other things. Yeah. MLJ. MLJ was a pretty busy place, I believe.
It was. And again, they also used a lot of in-house artists. Can you draw like this guy? Then we'll hire you. Yeah.
Well, that's what Dan Parent actually said in an interview that that I happened to watch. It's one that I didn't do, but that I watched, where he said one of the things with Archie was, can you draw like Dan DeCarlo? That was the current style at the time. And the thing is, Dan Parent is probably the closest to Dan DeCarlo there is.
He trained with them.
Yeah. And it shows.
Yeah, it really does.
I'm a huge fan of Dan Parent. The man is very nice, and honestly, he was very, very accommodating with his time. I did only like a 10-minute, 5-minute interview with him on camera, but I saw
that. That was really good.
I probably spent about 45 minutes talking with him. And then I watched his panel and asked questions there. So I got a chance to really get to know a little bit. And a lot of the reason why I am actually interested more in Archie books is because of your channel.
Oh, well, thank you.
Because one thing that I find that the vast majority of collectors out there, they think of Archie as a kid's book.
Yes, they do.
Or something you buy at the grocery store as you go out on the digest. Digests are everywhere. I mean, I
Yeah.
see them at yard sales all the time. I only have a few of them, but that's because that's a space issue. I don't have the space for them. But I see them all the time at the yard sales. But people throw their Archies, which are usually in bad shape. They just throw them in the box and they want a quarter for them at a yard sale, for example. And at my local comic show, he's finally recognizing at least the 70s Archie is now in bags and boards, and it's about $3-4 a book rather than just the dollar bin filler. Recent ones are dollar bin filler. So I saw that you got a lot of books for very cheap. Is that the same in the United States?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I just like. Now, my next question comes is a specific issue. Do you have issue Giant Series Archie 523?
What's on the cover?
Parliament Buildings in Ottawa. That's the one where Archie visits Ottawa. That's where I'm from. That's where I'm from. So
you know, I don't do the numbers anymore because there's so many Archie numbers. I do what I recognize by covers. But I will look for it and see if I have it. But I have the same problem here. My local comic shop won't even order new Archies unless you specifically ask him to.
Yeah, that's pretty much what all my local comic shops are like.
Yes.
They ordered the Archie Horror because the Archie Horror was selling.
Sorry.
That's fine. Like Afterlife with Archie was selling. I can't remember. There's a couple other titles there. The Vampirella stuff really sold. The Betty and Veronica meets Vampirella. Vampirella and Red Sonja as well.
And you know that was bringing Archie back, and they dropped it.
Mm-hmm. I honestly thought, okay, when it came out, when they shot and killed Archie, all right, when they killed him off, I actually thought that was going to bring a nostalgic wave of people back into the collecting of Archies. I actually personally started looking for Archies, and a lot of the ones that I have was from around that time.
Okay.
I don't mean new ones. I mean like the older ones, because people were actually asking for them again, and people were bringing them out. And I thought that would be a lot longer than it ended up being. Do you find it difficult to find any books you're particularly looking for, or do you just buy what's available?
I find it very difficult. I mean, you can always go on eBay, but then you're still paying $10 for delivery of a book that cost you $1.26. Yeah. So you're still looking at, you know, it's overpriced. And the ones here, I don't know if you saw the episode where I put together, I had a bunch of Archies from Sweden or something.
Yes,
Norway.
yes.
And I'm still hunting those issues down. And they're not hard to find issues. It's just no one has them. It's just a random 1986 Archie book. I can't find it.
Well, that's weird. By the way, did you ever see the episode of Lunch Money Comics where he found the $5 Archie shoe book and turned it into the X-Men 4?
Yes.
Hello, Nate. No, we can't start over, unfortunately. But as Nate, can you check on Mark's page and tell me how many subs he's got? As I said, we're going to remind people, get him to 75 subs, and I will put 2 extra prizes in my giveaway. Get him to 70, I will give 1. Right now, my current giveaway has 3 prizes, and I will throw them together. As I said, once we get there. So,
when I hit 100 subs, I will be giving away a signed Sabrina comic with the Dan Perry
that's
cover.
Cool.
So it's a Virgin signed cover. And if I hit 75, I will give away my Archie Treats.
Yes, I saw you got those today.
From 1991.
Well, one of the prizes I've got to give away is actually from artist Sammy Francis, who has been doing Archie covers in the not too long ago past. Is she someone you're familiar with?
I'm not that familiar with her. I'm
Because most of her
mostly
work so far has been on Sabrina. So,
yes. I'm very weak on Sabrina.
mhm.
I'm just starting because Sabrina is one of those titles that it's even though it's a beat up copy from the 70s, you're still looking at 15 to $20.
Yeah, she
For a
got
book
big.
that
She got
looks like
big.
it's worth a dime.
Yeah, she got big with her TV show that she had not too long
She
ago.
did.
Again, that was a good show. I really enjoyed it
I
myself.
watch it. It's
Yeah,
it's a guilty pleasure of mine too.
exactly. It was fun to watch, and
And
I
her
just
twins were
remember,
so cute.
yeah, and I just remember that my wife coming down to the living room time of watching it, and she said, and I quote, "Seriously, do you watch anything that's not barely legal characters or actresses that are wearing skirts because of the schoolgirl outfit?" And because she goes, "You like Buffy? She was a cheerleader. You like Supergirl? She's a girl in a skirt that flies. Like, come on." So, and I'm like,
See, but in my mind, it takes me back to those days.
exactly.
When I
I
get
would
up in the
like,
morning, I don't look at myself as a 56-year-old guy. I
no, I
wake up,
don't.
I feel like it, but I wake up going, I remember high school. I remember my
Yes.
friends. All my friends are gone.
Yeah,
So,
I've got
it's a way
I
to go
got word.
back.
I got word this week that another someone I went to high school with had passed away. We're in that. I'm in my mid-50s. We're at that point, so sadly. So here's a debate that I know that everybody out there is into, and I'm going to bring it up. I know that your favorite bit from watching the show is Miss Cabot. Okay, Alexandra Cabot from Josie and the Pussycat. But here's the question, and we all know, drum roll please. Are you Team Betty or Team Veronica?
I was thinking about this because someone asked me the other day about that too. If you ever read a lot of the books, Betty is actually a crazed stalker. She's gone so far as tying Archie up and throwing him in the bushes, to trapping him in the house. Whereas Veronica is more down to earth with Archie. But if they were to be together, I would put Archie with Betty.
Archie with Betty. I believe that too. Because I believe that Betty's love is more genuine and pure and less transactional than I think Veronica would be.
Yes.
Because Veronica's already shown many times, you're not doing exactly what I want. I'm going to go out with Reggie for a couple weeks.
Right. And as soon as Archie talks to someone else, she's back.
Yes.
I see Reggie and Veronica as a couple.
I have to admit, when they were married, the Veronica story was a little more interesting than the Betty one, because it maybe because of the Archie uniform, the uniformity and the universe that they're in. The Archie Veronica being married felt more natural than Betty and Archie being married. But that was just me. I think it was more of a right because, yes, all the details are pretty much the same. They both had twins. They got married. It's details, but I found that the details with Veronica felt a little more because, here Hiram got right into it once they were actually married. I love you, Archie. That kind of stuff, and that felt more realistic then because the Coopers already loved the heck out of Archie. So
right, because Veronica and Archie was more like modern, whereas Betty and Archie were more like Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah,
we're struggling teachers, but we're going to make it. Yeah, but I still think the best wedding with Archie was with Valerie.
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, I saw it and I've heard about it, but I don't have any of the books from that era. Can you tell us a little about that?
Well, Archies have a band called the Archies with their number one hit, the Sugar Sugar. It's been around since forever. And they teamed up with Josie and the Pussycats.
Right.
And Veronica, no, not Veronica, I'm sorry. Valerie is the one that writes the lyrics for the bands.
Mm-hmm.
And Archie also writes the lyrics. So they were working late one night and they just really hit it off. they start dating. So that led to the marriage, the imaginary marriage story.
Right.
And they get married, and they have one child, and it's a music prodigy. She can play guitar at like 3 years old. And but it was a very interesting story.
Right. So, which brings me to my next question that I had. Outside of what I call the core five, you've got Reggie, Jughead, Archie, Betty, and Veronica. Do you have a favorite character?
I like Midge and Moose.
Mm-hmm.
Dalton's always interesting because without Dalton, you won't have any of the sci-fi stories.
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina's interesting. My new thing is the Sabrina Christmas specials.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is kind of weird because you're taking witchcraft and mixing it with Christmas. I don't know.
To be fair, a lot of Christmas traditions started out as pagan.
They did start out as pagan, so. But I like the oddball stuff, like that Wilkins boy.
Yeah.
The Madhouse Mads.
Mm-hmm. Alan has a big thing for Little Jinx. He really likes that comic.
Little Jinx is always fun. She had Fat Charlie and nervous. What's his name? Nervous somebody or other.
Mm-hmm.
But they always had the fun little characters. But she was always like 1 or 2 pages at the most.
Yeah.
I mean, she does have her own books.
Yeah, and the dad, she really gets his goat all the time, doesn't she?
She reminds me of a very early Calvin and Hobbes.
Yes.
Or Dennis the Menace type thing.
You're right, and that's probably why she was called Little Jinx.
And then they aged her up and made her a horror star.
Ooh, that's cool. That I'm going to have to check
all the modern horror stuff usually has something to do with Jinx.
That's cool. Well, for one thing, that's a good name to have for something that base horror off of. That is really cool. Okay, I'm going to make you big. Let's see some of these books. We're already 27 minutes in.
Okay. Everyone was talking about the books back here. This is Veronica as Wonder Woman. And we've got Betty as Power Girl. I'm going to tilt just a little bit. You got Sabrina as Zatanna. And you got Cheryl Blossom as Starfire.
Oh, Starfire is nice.
So then I said, well, I can't just do DC because I had a DC collection. So I had to get the Marvel ones too.
Oh, very nice.
Veronica as Elektra. We got Sabrina as Magic.
Nice.
I have Cheryl Blossom as Red Sonja.
Perfect choice.
And there's a Betty Cooper as Dazzler. Right. I mailed one to Nate, and I can't find my other one. I'm just curious if maybe I mailed both of them to Nate. I'm not 100% sure. No. It's not a big deal. And then on this side, these are the tattoos. I mean, you don't ever get to see the bottom there. You got Veronica, Betty, Josie and the Pussycats, and you got Sabrina.
That's great.
And then the books I have out right now are my Golden Age books because I can't seem to find a box that's wide enough to fit Golden Age books.
Mm-hmm. Nate is actually saying that you sent him the Sabrina's Magic and the Sabrina's Dazzler. Thank you, Mark. I love them.
I'm glad you like them. I didn't send you 2 by mistake, did I? Because I know I have 2 copies of it. So I got some Golden Age stuff here. The Adventures of the Dover Boys.
Oh, that's cool.
It's kind of like a Hardy Boys. I don't know if anyone's old enough to remember the Hardy Boys.
I remember the Hardy Boys. I actually got one of their books right in front of me.
The Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew.
Update on your subs. We got up to 66. Let's go, people. Let's get them to at least 70, and I will put up prizes.
These are some I got in a recent claim auction. This is Archie 37.
Nice. So he's got a black eye there?
Yeah, because he wasn't minding his dates.
Oh.
See, Jughead came out and said, I really got to remember my dates. And Archie says, yeah, me too, Jug. This is Archie 78.
Very cute.
This is my second oldest. This is a Laugh 22.
Nice. You showed that not too long ago, eh?
Yeah, I did.
I like it.
These are just on my desk, so.
Alan saw that and thought the nurse was really cool.
Yeah, these came off of that claim sale that Alan did, and
yeah,
3 Golden Age books for under, I think it was $200. So
if you
let the hurricane come. I'm not worried about it now.
Yeah.
Susie. She says, "I'm lost. Can you find me?" She's at the Bureau of Missing People. Yeah, I love Susie. She's so goofy.
Yes.
Here she is trying to do flapjacks and not working very well.
Not working well.
This is an interesting one. Archie had a story. It's called The Carnies.
Mm-hmm.
We're carnival people. And apparently they don't own the Carnies. The artist and writer own them because they put them out on their own book.
The Dumbass Express. Now, that judging by the price, that's more current.
This is more current.
Yeah.
I did get it signed.
Oh, very cool.
But it's a big book. It's like a Golden Age book. It won't fit in a box. And then we were talking about Katie Keene.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, I have a couple slabs. I don't know where to put them. They don't fit in a box.
No, I know. I have the same problem. That's one of the reasons I don't buy slabs. I don't have the space to have those boxes.
No, I have to buy a special box, I guess.
Yeah.
So I've got that
now,
one.
Quick question with regards to Katie Keene. Do you find Sis the most annoying character ever made? I sure do.
Yes. But she was written that way on purpose.
I get that, but she actually, like when she showed up in the stories, I skipped the panels.
Yes. But what I always thought was cool about Katie Keene in them is all the designs were done by readers.
Yes, I remember reading that.
I don't know how they did it. I guess they just did it and sent it in.
Well, DC Books had that for for a bit in the 70s, especially with the Supergirl outfits. And then
right, but that was like a Supergirl once in a while thing, like in the 70s.
No, they actually did it too. I have one from Batman Family where they sent in Robin suggestions.
Right. I remember the Robin one. That was Earth 2 Robin, if I believe.
Yeah, but they still were designed.
For Katie Keene would have 6, 7, 8 different outfits in one episode.
Yeah.
One issue. And the same with the little girl. They would design her clothes and her boyfriend's clothes. And it was just crazy.
Lau says Millie did that too.
Oh, did she? Okay.
Well, you have all these aspiring fashionistas, right? You've got all the women that wanted to design clothes and things like that. Hi, Chonko.
Hey, Chonk.
Oh, no. Poor guy. Montezuma's revenge.
Montezuma's revenge.
Big Nasty. He said 69 subs. Sorry. You're at 69. Very nice. Let's get him over 70.
And this is one of my fun ones I really like.
That is cool.
It is a 10.
By the way, that is a 10. Wow. I didn't catch that at first. Very nice. What was your opinion, by the way, of the shooting, like the Kevin Keller episode where he saves his life?
I was really nervous because at the time they had Riverdale going.
Mm-hmm.
And Riverdale was a really horrible show.
Right.
And I thought then by killing Archie, they were going to switch over to like a Riverdale-esque story in the books.
Right.
Which they kind of did, sort of. And I think that's why it flopped. Because all the Archie people I know hated Riverdale. They're all
I couldn't get into it. I watched the first one, but couldn't get into it. It just didn't feel Archie. It felt more of like it maybe because Luke Perry was in it, but it felt too 901, 210.
Yeah, I was going to say Melrose Place. It felt like Melrose Place, but we're older, and I don't know if the younger people would get that.
No, probably not. Although the
Um,
fact that you know that they did have a 90210 veteran there was Man Bat, good book.
Now I do have some non-Archie stuff.
Yeah,
This is the first Rocketeer. Uh, the first Metal Men. Second
that
time
is
I'm going this book. My new thing is I like the Thing, and I haven't seen the Fantastic Four movie, but I've been getting the Marvel features, and what I'm doing with this is I buy one issue a month. I started with, I think this is the first one. Yeah, this is the first one, I think. No. Yes.
pretty close. If it's not the first, it's the second or third.
And this is like the second. And then I started getting the Marvel 2-in-1s, which it leads into. So what I'm doing is I'm getting one of these a month to read it like I lived back in the, what is this, the late 70s, early 80s.
Mm-hmm. We got you to 70. Let's see if we
Oh.
can get you to 75.
Awesome. That was my most recent one. I get number 4 now. I believe it's the old Guardians of the Galaxy.
Great.
Like I said, I had all the Charlton books at one time.
Judo Master is a great character. I wish he'd come back.
Well, he's in the Peacemaker, but the Peacemaker is such a terrible show.
Yeah,
I can't watch it.
It's not going to bring him back as like the Peacemaker. I don't even think they're using him in actual comic books at the moment. I saw him briefly in one, but I don't think he was used very much.
If you ever read the old Charlton things, Peacemaker was very much like Nick Fury.
Yeah.
He had his own organization, and he was.
I heard that.
And they just made him a joke.
Yeah.
Kind of like they did with Blue Beetle when they mixed him up with Booster Gold in the Justice League Europe.
Are we talking Alan Lyle, the Judo Master? He put LOL, so I'm guessing yes. That's a book I'd like to get because of the red tornado.
It wasn't a very expensive book. It's only like $25-$30. Unless you get, want to get it graded at, 9.8 or something.
Oh, I'm a raw book kind of guy.
We got another Charlton here. Peter Cannon Thunderbolt.
Hi, Robbie.
Got my Doll Man. I do really enjoy getting the foreign books. Like these are from Australia.
Mm-hmm. What I like about the foreign books that you just put up is that they've spread out the picture better.
Yes.
It's not this little half thing underneath, like a half title. So it also looks like a bigger book.
It's like a magazine.
Very nice.
Even on the inside, I know it's black and white, but the pictures are bigger. I don't know if it's because I'm older that I like the bigger pictures.
I like the bigger pictures partly because I'm older, but also because you see more detail.
Yes. And I'm still tracking down the covers for these in their American version.
We've had a bunch of people just come in. So before we get going too much more, pointing out that I'm going to add prizes to my giveaway is more subs that Mark gets. We've got him to 70. If we get him to 75, I will put a second extra prize into the mix. All right.
Awesome. I know you said you have a daughter. Mm-hmm. I don't know how old she is, but Archie does make actual books.
She's 12.
So this would be a great book for her. It's like Betty's diary.
She actually reads every time. Like she'll read the Archie Digest. So she's one of those people, as I said, she'll pick up a digest and read it. And
see, but these are like real books.
Wow.
So for a young reader, they're great. You can't, I got this for 99 cents off of Amazon or something.
Wow. Well, I'll have to look for them.
I don't know what else I have. I have artwork behind me.
That's okay. We'll
As you can see, Alexander is my favorite.
yeah. So when you had your collections before,
Yes.
Did you buy a lot of Archie then?
I didn't buy any Archie then. I was a comic book snob like most people are.
Mm.
And I was like on Big Bang Theory. I don't know if you ever seen Big Bang Theory where
Yes,
they make fun of the dumb guy for reading the Archies.
Yes, I've seen them all. They're great.
So I was that way, but I think I think Archie is for like younger kids because the stories are wholesome, and it's for older people now too because the stories are wholesome.
Well,
I'm not looking at any of the weird politics in the
that is what
Archie.
I like about it. They're like some of the ones that I like the most are the stories where they're playing baseball, the baseball team, or Archie's either the star or he's the klutz.
Yes,
who does the water boy. So yes, Chonko plus hot chicks.
Plus hot chicks.
But I mean, like you get so many like. It's so funny how Archie's either the most clumsy man on the planet or he's the awesomest, most debonair man.
Or his clumsiness works so well that he looks like he knows what he's doing.
I prefer him as clumsiness. My favorite character has always been, outside of Sabrina, I always like Jughead.
Yes.
Because Jughead is that sarcastic wit that I've always liked. And I've always wanted to have in my own life.
If I could be any Archie character, it would be Jughead. Because he has that carefree attitude to life.
Yes, and could you imagine being able to eat that much and not gain an ounce?
And they totally made him weird in the Riverdale show.
Yeah.
They made him like an asexual binary type.
Yeah, well,
I didn't get all that. It's beyond me
now. Well, to be honest, he does show some tendencies in the comics, but my simple thought is it's not that he hates girls. He just doesn't want to get involved in that crap. He's just too he watches his friends like Reggie and Archie and Moose and Chuck Clayton there and all them. He watches them trip over each other and trip over themselves trying to make these girls happy. Where he is happiest at the chocolate shop. So,
and what's funny though is when he does need a date, he has no problem getting one.
I know.
He's gone out with Betty, Veronica. He's gone out in the imaginary stories. He marries Midge.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yes, I remember seeing that.
He went out with Cheryl Blossom one time. No one goes out with Cheryl Blossom.
Exactly. And well, I mean, there's always Big Ethel, right?
And that's the one he didn't want.
Yes, well, that's because she's the most obvious, right? You know the old story, like, and I think there's a little bit of that with Veronica and Betty with Archie. Yes. Betty's a little too eager.
Betty's always been next to him, too. They've known each other since they were little.
Exactly, where Veronica was the new girl, and she's a little more standoffish. You know, and she's got admittedly, she has a little more sophistication and a little better wardrobe and all that other stuff. Yes. There are perks to Veronica. Yes. No, don't get me wrong. But honestly, I think choosing one of them, I'd pick Betty in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Because you know that she's just going to be happy with a Netflix and chill night. And I don't even necessarily mean we go all the way. I mean, like, she's cool with staying in with a pizza. And honestly, that's all I want to do.
And that's one of the things I like about it, too. I know a lot of guys like the new artist covers where the girls are scantily clothed.
I like them.
I like them, but they're so tight that, you know, I don't want to see that in every single book I read.
I get that.
I like, you know, a little bit of mystery.
Loud, even if it's
Loud. Miss Grundy, maybe, but not the lunch lady.
Not the lunch lady. Oh, Mrs. Beasley. Oh, not no. Beasley. I'm surprised she hasn't fallen into the stew. You know, or that she's like killing people behind the scenes and putting them in the stew.
That would be a good one for the Afterlife with Archie, where she's a whore.
Is Afterlife with
Archie people soup?
Is that still going?
No.
No. That's too bad because I read 3 issues of that and thought it was pretty interesting for Archie.
It was really good. It's like every time they get something good, they mess it up and just drop it.
Yeah.
That's like they got that new live action movie coming out, and I really want it to be good. I really want it to be good.
Okay. Last thing I'm going to ask you about, because I see we're up to 45 minutes already. What is your opinion on the Archie crossovers? For example, Archie meets Kiss, Archie meets Batman 66, and that sort of thing.
They're usually quite fun. I've got Archie meets the Ramones, Archie meets the B-52s. I mean, if they make kind of sense, they're because Archie's in a band.
Yeah, the B-52s. I didn't think I've heard of that one.
Yeah, they meet Kiss makes sense because they're in a band.
Yeah. Kiss was one of the first. Kiss was the first. The Archie meets Kiss trade was the first thing I bought that Dan Parent signed for me.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
but the Batman one, it makes sense because when you think of the '60s, you think of Archie.
Yeah. Yeah, the cartoon there where they're always doing the same move.
The same moves with the background just flashing different colors.
Yeah. In one shot, Reggie's playing the bass. The next shot, he's playing rhythm guitar, but they haven't changed, Yeah.
The new Minor Threat one, they're out on issue 2, and it's very different, I'll say. It's different. Archie meets Jay and Silent Bob. That was one that was out there, but it was still a good read. They kept the characters as they're supposed to be.
No, and it's a lot of fun, and I liked in Kiss particularly that Sabrina was part of the ride, and she was part of the reason why all the bad stuff was going on because she had the screwed up spell. So
it's always Sabrina's fault.
Yeah, see, I bought Archie meets the Punisher. That one I remember reading about.
Archie meets Alien, Predator, Punisher.
Yeah. I'm just taking a quick look. Okay, it's not easily accessible. I got one of those little collections where they for Archie that it's only about this big or whatever. And I bought it from Dan Parent, and it's got a whole bunch of the first appearances. Like it has Archie's first appearance in it and Veronica's first appearance, like because Betty and Jughead, of course, were the same as Archie, right? So I mean,
right.
Did you? I always found that you can call me Chick to be rather hilarious. I think Archie has met Deadpool, hasn't he?
Archie has a character that's like Deadpool. He's called Pool Noodle.
Right.
He runs around with pool noodles and beats people with pool noodles.
Yeah. And the very last question I'm going to ask: what was your opinion on the Archie superheroes like Pure Heart and Super Teen?
I recently did a video about that, and
I think I missed that one. Then I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I liked it. I did everybody except Reggie because Reggie is Evil Heart, and I consider Evil Heart kind of a villain, anti-hero. But Super Teen, Pure Heart, Captain Hero, Super Teen, Power Teen, they're great. And they always team them up with the classic ones like the Shield, the Fly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stories where they're combining the two together. So it's always fun.
Mark, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on tonight. I've learned some stuff that I didn't. La wants to know if you collect the Spires.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't have all of them yet, but I do collect them.
Very cool, though. Actually, I saw that. I saw some at my local comic shop. I'm not picking them up because Alan's like, I want those, so I'm letting him go after those. But yeah, if he doesn't buy them in a week or two, well, they might end up in the boxes behind me. Thank you, everybody who subscribed to Mark tonight. We got him to 70, which is the number that I just checked that we're at. So as a result, I will throw in one extra prize when it's time for my giveaway. Hopefully that'll be by Christmas time. We'll see what happens. And hopefully by the time my giveaway is done, Canada Post will be back in service, so I can actually get things to people. For those just joining us on the replay, Mark has been collecting Archie for a long time. what, 3 years or so?
3 to 5 years, somewhere in
3
there.
to 5 years. He's becoming an expert on Archie quite quickly. I do really appreciate his knowledge and stuff. And give him a follow, give him a shout, give him a subscription. These are all the things. And yes, Chonko, I agree. Hit the like button on the way out. I appreciate everybody. Please join us again at the same time next week, 7 p.m. Eastern, when my guest will be JSS Brooklyn making a return visit with a bunch of horror stories that might leave you going, ah! Certainly more than a Sabrina book. Anyway, thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight. My name is Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Bye, everybody.
Bye.